Good morning, welcome back to the vlog. Just finished up with my training session today. Didn't take the camera out because it was another hard interval session. This is becoming a little bit of a regular thing now. It was just more suitable not to take the camera out so I could focus on the work that I had to do. And now I'm literally just riding around our estate to start the video. But today was a great ride with great intervals. I felt good, legs felt good after yesterday's session, which was a little bit of a surprise to me. I thought I would feel a little bit worse than what I did. But the only downside of today's ride is my Garmin crashed. 2 hours, well, just as we reached the 3 hour point. I was about 10 minutes away from home. My Garmin crashed and I lost all of my ride data today. I mean, if it's not on Strava, if I've not got any data to show on Training Peaks, did today even happen? And it is just so frustrating. But what can you do? The main thing is that I've done the training and the training's in the legs. I've just got nothing to show for it. But today, in a nutshell, I had some 1 minute efforts. Then at the end of the ride, I had to do some tempo. It wasn't the longest of rides, but it was a real quality session. And I'm absolutely gassed out now. I'm heading over to Lawrence's Villa now because for the bulk of today's video, we're going to answer some of your guys' questions that you left in the comment section over the past few videos. Also, I want to talk to them a little bit about the race up the Rats the other day or last week now. I'm sure you've all seen the video now. Obviously, Lawrence ended up winning. So I want to ask him a few questions about that, sort of get his perspective from it all. Ultimately, ask him why he thinks that he won the race, besides the obvious fact that he's a better climber.
Your villa's quite nice, you know.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it?
It's not bad.
I don't know how you're sat in a t-shirt.
Yeah, I know, it's freezing.
It's literally like 12 degrees.
I am shivering a little bit, but I'm gonna put these goose pimples aside and crack on with the video.
Alright, as I mentioned, we're at Lawrence's Villa. We're going to talk a little bit about the race. I know I've already done like a breakdown analysis of the power and stuff in my video last week. But I just want to get a little bit of Lawrence's insight as to why, like, how he thinks that the race was won. Alright, so first off, I want to ask you, like, how much do you weigh?
It depends, Cameron, what time of day. No, the race weight is,
yeah,
I say 68, but it was a touch over.
Yeah.
But 68 is like.
So what, so for this race, what do you think your weight would have been?
It was about 68 and a half.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So like, I weighed myself this morning for the first time in about 6 months, and I was 74.5 kilograms.
Fuck off.
I'll have to bleep that out.
I mean, but you said, what were you telling everyone you were?
Like 70.
Okay, so that would indicate why you were over 400, and everyone was like, how can you be 400 and
yeah,
only weigh 2 kilograms?
So what was your average power from that climb?
So that was 375.
Yeah. So I mean, mine was around 20, 21, 22 watts average higher. 25. Yeah. So 22 watts difference. So that would kind of make sense, like the difference in weight. How much of a benefit do you think being like super light would have on a climb like that?
Well, obviously I think that's what. If I was the same weight as you, that wouldn't have happened. Okay. Like that's how many kilograms that is. That's for 5.5 kilograms.
Yeah.
That's at the end of the day, that's what made the difference, I think. But you're slightly taller than me. Naturally, you're going to be a little bit heavier. Yeah. How much do you think experience played in a part in this race? That's a good question, Cam. What do you think? I think it's more interesting to see what you think.
I mean, like my game plan was basically to just ride at whatever speed you were riding at and try and respond to. Like
so
I knew
you'd already gone into it thinking you were because that indicates that you'd already thought that I was going to win it.
Well, like, yeah. I mean, I know. Like you're obviously more of a climber. I'm probably more of a punchier rider, rouleur. Like I knew that it was the ball was in your court. So yeah. my game plan was just to go in there and to sort of try and match your pace and then respond to any attacks, which like inevitably I knew you were gonna put an attack in.
And when did you think it was going to come? Was that kind of like
it was sooner than I expected.
Yeah.
I think it was around 2.5 kilometers.
We started hard though, didn't we? Like it was over 400 watts for the first half.
I mean there was a lot at stake at this race. we were both pretty geared up for it. We're both pretty.
Well, we had a whole film crew and everything.
We had a crowd of people.
We had a crowd, but you know, I think when do you know what it was? I think naturally when you're riding side by side, like I think it's so much more of a mental game. Yeah. It's like whoever. Like you might have been bobbing your head a little bit, you know. You start to see the signs, you start to think, right, okay. Like I think he's like, because I was hanging. There's no way, like I'm not gonna lie and say, oh, I was feeling fine. Yeah. Like, I was starting to feel like, oh shit, this actually hurts quite a lot. Yeah. And the moment you just like, I think it was literally just like that much you dropped behind me, just that much, and I thought, right, this is the time. Yeah. I put 20 watts in. It was more like 100 watts. Yeah. Put a bit of a dig in. and that was it. I could see you got out the saddle, you tried to respond.
I just couldn't.
That was it. I mean,
Simple
it was,
as that.
you know, but no, it was good. I mean, you know, after that initial little gap that I put into you, you held me all the way up.
Yeah.
And you know, if we had done the race differently, it might have turned out very different.
Anyway, that's all of like the race questions that I wanted to ask Lawrence. Now we're going to jump into some questions that you guys left us on the video two or 3 weeks ago now.
Oh my god! Throwing it back.
Throwing it back. Like we were supposed to do this like 2 weeks ago. But
oh really? Oh, do you know what we were doing? We were waiting for a wet day.
Yeah.
And then we didn't really get one. Or it did, but then we had other things that was going on.
Yeah,
so we've saved it. Today's the day.
Today's the day. So at what age did you start following structured training plan and start racing bikes? Do you want to start with this one?
Yes. So I started at the age of 8, and you know, I don't think it's beneficial to have a coach at that age. You just want to enjoy your running bike.
Yeah.
I don't think I got a coach until I was towards the end of youth, so maybe 16. I had like a mentor as such.
Okay.
And then didn't actually get coaching until I was about a couple of years later.
Okay. Yeah. Around junior years.
Yeah, like kind of junior years, it starts to get more specific in terms of the training that you have to do and the miles that you have to race.
Yeah. Like I think that's such a huge thing. Like I came from a BMX background, and like the fundamental part of like your development when you're starting a sport is that you enjoy it. Like you shouldn't really be thinking that you need to be training. You want to be enjoying it, and you want to be enjoying racing as well. Anyway, so for me, you right there?
Yeah, I'm good.
So for me, I started road racing when I was 3 years ago or 4 years ago now. So I was around 16 years old. I've talked about this in the vlog a few times, but like I used to race BMX, and road cycling was always part of my training program for that, and I just started enjoying my training on the road bike more than I was actually racing at the BMX. So I decided to pack the BMX in and focus solely on racing bikes. And then the second part of the question, following a structured training program, like I've only really started following a structured plan this year. Up until now, I just raced my bike and rode to the cafe.
Let me tell you, he's a different rider because of it this year. So if you ever want to...
Yeah, well, you still beat me.
Yeah. But
Alright, so next question is also a training question. How many hours on the bike do you both do per week during the summer and during the winter? I'll start with this one. So like since I've been here in Calpe, I've been doing around 20 to 22 or 23 hours a week. Back when I was at home during like the depths of winter, I was sort of maxing out at around 14 or 15 hours. During the summer, that tends to drop down a little bit just because you're racing so much. So like for me, I'll race 2 or 3 times a week. So like the large proportion of my miles are going to come from the races. So that might drop down. Like my average during the race season might be around 15 hours a week. Is that sort of similar to you, or?
Yeah, I think maybe even sometimes less than that. Even like for example, when the tour series comes around, if you're doing that kind of racing. You might be racing 3 times a week, and in which case really the only riding that you're doing outside of racing is just cafe spinning. Yeah. So you might even do a week which is below 10 hours. Yeah. But because you've built up the endurance and you've built up all that training load, at that point of the year you can just focus on the racing, and that's what matters. That's why winter training is so important. What was your first ever road bike? That's a good one. I like that. VPA. VPA? Yeah, that's his name. Oh yeah, I thought it was a bike. No, that's not a brand. What the hell's a VPA? My first ever road bike was it was a Peugeot. Yeah. Yeah. Peugeot. And it had like not mountain bike tyres, but like with the steel tubing, like the thin steel tubing. Yeah. Yeah. Really. Yeah. Down tube shifters. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Retro as it comes, mate. Yeah. And that was like I don't know what size, 48 or something, back in the day. What about you? My first road bike. It was a blue Ribble. Oh, standard winter bike. Yeah. It was my dad's old bike. Classic hand me down. 3 sizes too big. But it got me going. So I've had quite a few people asking, like since the race and since people have been seeing your bikes in the videos, like I've had quite a lot of questions asking what bike are you riding. So a couple of years ago I was sponsored by the team I was riding for were Cannondale sponsored. And when I left that team, I decided that I liked Cannondale quite a lot and decided to get CAD 12, which it's not a carbon frame, but for winter you don't need a carbon frame. And for me it's just a fantastic winter bike. I've got it built up with Di2, and it's just everything I need from a winter bike. What more could you want? All right, so you don't intend to race that bike this year? You're gonna buy? Probably not. I mean, it does me good through the winter, and then when I need it between racing. But yeah, I tend to have a race bike that I can.
The nice thing about the CAD 12 as well, like I notice, is the geometry is more like a race spec geometry. Like a lot of these winter bikes now have massive head tubes, like a real relaxed position, which is great if you're just an average cyclist. But if you're a racing cyclist, you want to sort of maintain that race position all year round, and I think like that's a good option.
Exactly. Yeah.
So kind of following on from the last question, what would be your ultimate or your dream bike build if money is no object?
You're gonna have to give me a second here, you know.
I'll jump in here. Like first off, I mean I might be a little bit biased now because I am riding a Colnago, but like the brand new Colnago C64 was announced yesterday, I think, and yeah, it's just an absolutely stunning bike. Obviously I haven't ridden it, so I don't know how it rides, but just the tubing and the geometry, and with a nice Super Record EPS Campag group set, like I reckon that would be at the minute that would be at the top of my list.
But you're doing all right so far. You know.
I mean, yeah.
You're on the spectrum with that. Yeah, I think for me it's gonna be. Have you seen the top end Factor bike with like this split down tube?
Yeah.
I mean, it's quite out there, but I just feel like that is like the Lamborghini of the cycling world. And then you build it up with. I think it's got to be Dura-Ace Di2, the new one, and then
Di2 over mechanical.
Yeah. I like a good bit of Di2, and then MV Smarts. The best wheels around.
Yeah.
I wish I could afford some, you know.
If you're enjoying this Q&A, we're going to continue it over on Lawrence's channel right now. So head over there, the link's in the description.
Lawrence, anyway, it's been a pleasure.
As always, mate.
Thank you again for kicking my ass up the rats the other day.
Not a pleasure. We'll do it again, eh?
No, we're not. We are not doing it again.
Yeah.
All right, if we're going to do round 2, if we're going to do another race, I think it's going to have to be a sprint.
Okay.
You're not so keen anymore.
Okay. Well, we can sprint, Cam, but you know, there's only going to be one winner. Eh?